Hello guys, I'm Aloy Andaluz and this is 3ds Max news for the month of June. We will start with Max 2021 Update 1. First, we have a new installer. Updates install way faster than before. A lot of improvements on viewports. Depth of field now affects environment maps. Each view can have its own exposure, white balance and vignetting. And multiple OSL improvements. We have matte shadow supported on viewport, UDIMs support on viewport. You can have multiple UDIMs and you will be able to display all of them. Improved OSL animated textures, improved search material on Material Editor. Material Editor on 4K monitors will display way faster. Improvements as well on bake-to-texture. We have UDIM support, animated map support, and a lot of usability improvements. Fluids gets multiple improvements. Fluid loader are exposed as particle systems, so you can use now third parties to mesh or do whatever, or instance over fluid loaders. Velocity channel can had some problems before in the past with different units, now it works all the time, and PRT now supports signet and unsignet values. Improvements on modeling, so you can do, for example, shift and drag to extrude, shift and scale to inset. And we have user-defined defaults, so you can define different values for a cube segments, so every time Max will remember these values. Here, Shangso Eun created a script to manage all this, that is very handy. Together with the new 3ds Max, remember that the roadmap is being updated, and you can see the new roadmap if you want, and it can give some clues of what will come. Max 2a has been updated as well. Now we have multiple improvements on baking to texture, multiple bug fixes. It has been updated to the newest Arnold, that is basically a bug fix release with a lot of improvements on USD. Talking about Arnold, make sure to check the documentation. In the 3ds Max part of Arnold, a lot of new improvements has been added, adding more information and tutorials. Lee Griggs is one of the guys taking care of it, and you will find multiple scenes to download in Arnold, and as well under design visualization, he's creating during the last month multiple tutorials covering Arnold focus on different areas, architecture, product visualization, and others. The tutorials are great, and if you don't know Lee Griggs has been working for Autodesk and is the Arnold specialist there, and we don't have Demo of the Reel this month, but we have Artist of the Month, and it's Lee Griggs, so you will see that he is working a lot with Arnold. In the past was doing a lot of Maya in Arnold, but now has been updating a lot of things on the 3ds Max section. And Lee Griggs creates an amazing work creating this very technical but very artistic, different, mixing realistic with surreal. Check his personal page because you have the blog and you had all his works, and most of these works are linked to a tutorial that he creates. So you will be able to get a lot of information, and yeah, seriously, a lot of very cool stuff from Lee Griggs. V-Ray 5 has been released. We have a new V-Ray asset browser with over 500 materials. V-Ray Sun improved sky model, new material previews, code and sheen layers, new car paint material, V-Ray UV randomizer, support for ACES, rendering color, space. V-Ray triplanar texture can be used as mapping source for V-Ray bitmap. Mighty space support. V-Ray proxy now supports common particle interface. That's really cool. It's the same that we had on the fluid section of Max. Now you can load, for example, an alembic without any mesh associated, and you can use V-Ray instancer to instance any type of particle over these alembics, or use frost over it, and V-Ray GPU improvements. As well, all the improvements that we saw last month regarding the V-Ray frame buffer. V-Ray has been as well updated Unreal Update 3. A lot of multiple support has been added for 3ds Max exports. There is a material optimizer Max script for texture baking and material, and simplifications. So basically you can export from Max a V-Ray scene and load this back into Unreal. Quite cool and can simplify quite a lot of work. Moso Studios released Quick Environment Script version 2. It costs $10. Works with V-Ray and Corona, and it has a completely new interface and new functionality to work with HDRI environments. Phoenix FD 4.2 has been released. It adds support for Max 2021, improved Max previews, textures UVs, support for V-Ray GPU, and you can find it on Chaos group page. IS Library is an IS browser with over 99,000 IS files with previews, very useful for architecture. Cityscape Pro released a 3ds Max 45 days free trial. It's a parametric site modeling with parametric roads, curves, pavements, grass, lakes, terrain, and much more. Isolate by Material ID is a free script from Kinematic Lab. Basically, it allows to select any ID from your object and isolate it, delete all the rest of the elements. Can be very handy. In June, I participate on an Autodesk webinar together with Archbit. He was covering in Maya asset creations. In the second part, I talk about destructions. You will find the links below. It's recorded. If you was not able to see the webinar live, I basically talk about what I do, that it's destructions. I talk about techniques that I use in production, multiple tools that we sell on Effective Technical Directors that you will be able to find. During the webinar, I showcase some new stuff coming to Storm. Sebastian Scheffer, the developer, is working with the smoke solver, and I create a scene breaking it, and Sebastian was taking care of the smoke, and we put all this together, and I think that, yeah, it was great. I hope that you found the webinar useful. 3ds Meetup London is having in July 1st the next update with Fabio Palvelli and Sab Anderson. Sab is one of the developers of 3ds Max in charge of Viewport. If you want to be around, can be a cool talk. Remember, Autodesk University this year is online, and Autodesk is looking for candidates to talk. So if you would like to talk about 3ds Max or any Autodesk product, you can submit your proposition of talk, and then there will be a votation, and if you are elected, you will be able to give your conference. In June, this will be a big news, because in June we didn't had any type of update on Typeflow. So I hope that, Tyson, are you okay? Do you want that we call the police? But seriously, we had an update every 2 weeks, so not in June, but I hope that everything is fine. On the Typeflow group, we had as well as usual all the activity that we had always. A lot of people doing a lot of really cool stuff. People are still playing a lot with the new VDBs that was implemented on the last month. And a lot of rigid bodies, soft bodies, you know, the typical stuff on Typeflow. It's crazy that we have over 50 new updates every day with new posts of different people around the world creating cool stuff on Typeflow. I found some Legos files online, and I decided to give it a try as well with Typeflow. Here you have the result, and make sure to subscribe to my channel. I will post the tutorial, I hope, on the next week or 2 weeks. So that's all, guys. I hope that you like this new month. A lot of things coming to 3ds Max. And thanks a lot to my Patreons to helping me with these videos. Please consider be one of my Patreons. If not, and you like the video, please subscribe, like it, share it with your friends, give a comment, all the things that I like. Thank you a lot to be here, and see you soon, guys.